This Let's Not Meet story is in the perspective of a woman. When I was 19 years old, I had hit a dating rut. Between college and work, I was unable to put much effort into meeting new people or forming new relationships. My best friend at the time had just recently married, and with no dating life for herself anymore, she decided that helping me find the right guy would be the next best thing. I honestly wasn't even that interested in dating at the time. I just wanted to finish my basics and transfer to a large university. But she insisted I give it a chance, and she asked if I was alright to give this guy she knows my phone number. I was weary and refused at first until she started begging. She pleaded about how handsome this guy was, and how he's 25 and has a stable life. Then she told me about the paying job he has, about the house he built himself, and about the ranch and the horses he owned. She glorifies him as the sensitive, caring, attractive, really put together guy. But I know no one is perfect, so I ask, alright, what's the catch? She replies with, he only has one leg. Now that in of itself is not a problem until she said, he accidentally shot himself in the leg and it had to be amputated. I look at her like she just said the dumbest thing I've ever said in my entire life. I explained that I do not think I want to date someone who mishandles a gun so badly that they shoot their own leg off. But after all her begging and pleading, I cave and me and him begin chatting. I can't remember his name, so let's just call him Steve. The first couple of days of us texting went pretty okay. He was charming, funny, and easy to keep a conversation going between us. He had a slight arrogant tone and bragged a bit, but I excused it. I mean, if I had my own house and a high-paying job at 25, I think I'd be a little smug too. He had made a few comments that sent up a warning flag, like how when we discussed meeting in person, he talked about wanting to wait for a while before we meet, and that before we meet, he would like to see me in public, but like me not see him in public. He wanted me to go to a public place where he would be, then observe me with not realizing he's there. Now that's some creepy shit. I told myself I was looking into too deep into it, and I gave the guy a chance. But on the third day, more specifically night, he suddenly decided things weren't moving fast enough. He began asking inappropriate questions like what my sexual experiences were, and what my deepest, darkest, hidden kinks were, had I ever masturbated, etc., etc. I expressed my discomfort with him due to us only knowing each other for 3 days. He backed off and apologized, and I began a guilt trip on me that, at the time, I didn't really notice. He said manipulating things like, I didn't mean anything by it, I just want you to trust me, and I don't want our relationship to be a normal relationship. I just want us to be open with one another, and I just want to be the only person that you trust your fears with. Another day/night of this, and I, very stupidly, told him one of my deepest, darkest kinks that I've never and will never tell anyone about. I won't even name what it is in this story. He immediately sympathizes me and assures me that he feels the same while wanting me to go into further detail. I immediately feel regret and I try to change the topic. He keeps trying to bring it up again, and I explain that I'm not comfortable, that I don't think I should have told him those things because it was too soon. I explain that I wanted to take it slow. He agrees, and we change topics. We start talking about his home and his ranch, and I ask him to send pictures of his house because he built it himself. He immediately starts sending me photo after photo of his home and ranch and the horses. For a while, it's no text, just picture being sent right after the other. Pictures of the house, pictures of the yard, picture of the horse, picture of huge erect dick, picture of fence. I immediately interrupt him with, what the fuck? He asks if I liked it, to which I reply with a big fat no. I try to explain how inappropriate this is and try to understand why he thought this was okay to send that when it had nothing to do with what we were talking about. He gets irritated and says, damn, just chill. Stop freaking out, it wasn't even my dick. What? Excuse me? It wasn't your dick? Then whose dick was it? I proceed to blow up and then we get into a fight. I contact the friend who sets us up and explain what has happened. She tells me that Steve was also contact her and that he was calling me a bitch and saying that I was a psycho. Me and my friend agree to just ignore him and end the conversation. This completely infuriates him. He begins threatening me, not just me, but my friend too, to say he's going to kill us and our families and that we would sorry and all that jazz. We just ignore him and he literally restarts our fucking home address to us. We paid attention after that. Now, I never told him which city I lived in or anything like that. I asked my friend exactly how she knew him, and she said that she kinda lied and didn't really know him that well. She used to work in an FYE at a local mall, and apparently this psycho was a customer who shopped there, and one day she just randomly asked if he was single, and if he might be interested in me. I proceed to lose my shit. She didn't even know the guy. The guy shouldn't even know our last names, and here he is now telling me it's the names of our parents, our siblings, and our telephone numbers. We immediately take screenshots of everything he's saying and inform that if he doesn't stop, then we're involving the police. He, of course, continues with his threats. My friend's mom is a secretary of a lawyer, so after reporting Steve to the authorities and blocking him, we took the situation to my friend's mom, and she took care of it. I don't have the exact details, but we never heard from him again. Reading this might not seem that scary to you, but when a stranger is reciting your own address to you and threatening your well-being, it can be pretty dang terrifying. A few days later, I came to the realization that I should have known this dick pic wasn't a pic of his own dick pic because the guy in the picture had two legs. So one-legged Steve who has pictures of other dude dicks? Let's not meet.